Hey, what's going on everyone? Vega here for SerpentX Tech, and unfortunately the same KS0 Pro that Matt Electron Rick repaired is not working anymore. As you can see here, the lights are off, nothing is blinking, but that's not just because I have it unplugged. Here is the power brick right here, which is the same one used for those heavy-duty MSI laptops, and you can see if I turn off the flash, still no lights. However, if I take the stock power supply that came with the unit and plug it in, let's see what happens. All right. You will see it immediately powers on. So we need to flash the firmware back to stock because we do not want to run on this stock power brick with the firmware that's already applied to this thing. So I definitely want to unplug it. And you will see that the hunt key, we already know the power rating on this thing, but 19 volts, 6.32 amps, 120 watts only, whereas this one, which has worked for many people, so I'm not sure why this one just suddenly gave up to the ghost, but here is the model, right? I'm not sure how to pronounce that correctly. It's 230 watts, 19.5 volts at 11.8 amps, and it just doesn't work anymore for some odd reason. So the power brick went bad on me, not the actual KS0 Pro. So if your KS0 all of a sudden just stops, and I trust Matt Electron's work. He did a great job soldering and fixing this power port that went bad on us after the pushing the unit too hard with a veteran miner cable above its specs or rating. He did a really great job. I trusted this power port, so I wanted to make sure that it wasn't the unit. It wasn't what Matt Electron did, and all I simply did was take the stock power supply that we already had still in the box and replace the 230 watt laptop power supply, and we're back up and running. Just won't be able to run at the hash rate speeds that I could originally with the modified firmware, which I'm okay with. It's too hot here in Florida, so once I can connect to the actual unit, just to make sure that we're not letting the firmware that it's on, which will definitely draw over the power of this particular power supply, is swapped over, going back to default, going back to stock. I might be able to do a little bit above stock, but I just don't want to push that much power to it. So moral of the story, your KS0 goes out and you're not getting power. There could be a number of different reasons. Right? Maybe some of the power delivery components on this board went bad. Maybe the power port is getting burnt up. And if you try to remove your connector, you could wind up pulling that pin out like you saw in my previous videos with this unit. But just change the power brick. Maybe it's the power brick, or maybe it's the cable, right? This cable right here, the normal ones that we use on our computers, C13, C14, could be bad. Swap out the cable, which I'm probably going to do right now and test that out, or test the power brick or use a different one just to confirm where the fault lies. And got a new cable right here ready to go, plugging that in and checking the miner, and sure enough, it is the power brick. So this power brick that might have cost you hopefully less than 20 bucks, but some people were spending 40, 50, 60 bucks on Amazon to get these power bricks, is dead. So good thing I didn't spend a lot of money on it. Here is the particular model once again. If you want to avoid it, this did not last long whatsoever, even though it should be perfectly capable of handling the modified firmware on these KS0s. And that's pretty much it. So going back to stock, no big deal. Might push it a little bit above stock. But if you ever had those power issues, do those basic checks, one thing after the other. It's probably not going to be the power delivery on the board. It's probably going to be the power port, your power brick, or your power plug, like the actual cable itself. But if not, then your board you might want to check your power delivery. And I think Matt Electron, if he doesn't have a video on it, should have one out, so that way he can show you how to test the components on your PCB or your board for the KS0 or KS0 Pro or Ultra to see if it's getting the power it needs to along the way. But that's going to do it for today's video. So do me a favor on the way out, hit that like button, make sure to get subscribed, hit the notification bell to stay up to date. Check out additional links in the description to help support the channel and what we do here, and I'll catch you in the next one. Take care.